How's it going? So, when you're getting odd results with your NateChrony, it can be down to typically two things: the mounting, which we've got a video on, or potentially dirty sensors. You could have a dirty rear sensor, which is closest to the muzzle, or a dirty front sensor. So what do those two things actually look like? So we've got the usual AA battery, we've got the Chrony powered up, we've got the web page up and running. Quick test, 3 feet per second. 3 feet per second. All right, so the Chrony is working good. What we're going to do now is to simulate a dirty rear sensor. So we block the rear sensor. As you can see, it all looks normal. Trigger the front sensor. So it registers the shot, but the shot's giving 0 feet per second. What's happening is as soon as it resets, it starts to count. It's counting, it's counting, it's counting. It finally gets to the other sensor. It just takes really long, as far as it is aware, that from one sensor to the other. So a dirty front sensor will give you 0 feet per second, but still read. If we block the front sensor, so we've got a dirty front sensor, we have a shot, trigger the rear sensor, you get 262,000 feet per second. So a dirty front sensor will give you a really high reading because as soon as it starts to count, it looks at that sensor and it's blocked, it's triggered, it's stopped, off we go. So what happens if you have both sensors dirty? You get a high reading, automatic high reading, automatic, and it'll just keep triggering, triggering, triggering. Every time it resets to look at the next shot, it trips this sensor, records the shot. So that's what happens if you've got dirty sensors. We'll have another video about how to actually clean them in a second, but look for debris, make sure that there's nothing in there. Give it a quick blowout with some air or a vacuum cleaner to try and clean it out. So that's what happens if you have dirty sensors or a blockage in your NateChrony.